Hi, this is Pastor Brian. Thank you for joining me again today as we read through the book of Proverbs, one chapter at a time. Today, chapter 25. I will be reading through the Common English Bible. Feel free to use your own Bible or find a copy of the Common English Bible online or purchase a copy if you would like, but it is absolutely not necessary, especially if you want to see the differences between the translations. Today, again, chapter 25. These are also Proverbs of Solomon, copied by the men of Hezekiah, king of Judah. It is the glory of God to hide something, and the glory of kings to discover something. Like the high heavens and the depths of the earth, so the mind of a king is unsearchable. Remove the dross from the silver, and a vessel will come out for the refiner. Remove the wicked from the king's presence, and his throne will be established in righteousness. Don't exalt yourself in the presence of a king or stand in the place of important people, because it is better that he says to you, "Come up here," than to be demoted before a ruler. What your eyes see, don't be quick to quarrel over. What will you do in the future when your neighbor shames you? Argue it out with your neighbor and don't give away someone's secret. Otherwise, the one who hears it will vilify you. The slander against you will never stop. Words spoken at the right time are like gold, apples in a silver setting. Wise correction to an ear that listens is like a gold earring or jewelry of fine gold. Like the coolness of snow on a harvest day, are reliable messengers to those who send them. They restore the life of their master. People who brag about a gift never given are like clouds and wind that produce no rain. A commander can be persuaded with patience, and a tender tongue can break a bone. If you find honey, eat just the right amount. Otherwise, you'll get full and vomit it up. Don't spend too much time in your neighbor's house. Otherwise, they'll get fed up with you and hate you. People who testify falsely against their neighbors are like a club, sword, and sharpened arrow. Trusting a treacherous person at a difficult time is like having a bad tooth or a wobbly foot. Singing a song to a troubled heart is like taking off a garment on a cold day, or putting vinegar on a wound. If your enemies are starving, feed them some bread. If they are thirsty, give them water to drink. By doing this, you will heap burning coals on their heads, and the Lord will reward you. The north wind stirs up rain, and a person who plots quietly provokes angry faces. Better to live on the edge of a roof than to share a house with a contentious woman. Good news from a distant land is like cold water for a weary person. A righteous person giving in to the wicked is like a contaminated spring or a polluted fountain. Eating too much honey isn't good, nor is it appropriate to seek honor. A person without self-control is like a breached city, one with no walls. So what did you hear today? What stuck out to you? What did you notice that was maybe different from the translations if you're using a different translation of the Bible? One of the things that stuck out to me was in this passage, we see how Solomon mentions that you should sit low at the table and then allow the king or the ruler to move you up, which is exactly what Jesus talks about in the Gospels. So seeing how Jesus continues to use scripture from the Old Testament to bring about understanding to a weary world. So what else stuck out to you? There was so many good things in today's passage. It is hard to point them all out and to talk about all of them. But I hope that you found words of wisdom today, that you found words of life, and can understand the importance, as the text talks about, of associating with those who will help you and lift you up and who are also righteous, and knowing that there are people in our lives, whether friends or people that we just happen to be around, who may not be the best person in our life at that time, and to not rely upon them. So thank you for joining me today. Think about these words that we've talked about. Share them by writing them down so you remember them, or share them with a friend. And again, thank you for joining me as we read through a proverb a day. I hope you can join me tomorrow. Take care.